My reflection isn't me anymore. I'm terrified. The face staring back wasn't mine. Not anymore. It started subtly. 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. I'm losing track. Sleep deprivation will do that to you. It was just off. The way the light hit my face in the bathroom mirror, maybe. A slight asymmetry I hadn't noticed before. A harsher line around the mouth. I'd chalked it up to stress. Deadlines at Davis Klein are brutal. Plus, Sarah. Post-breakup life isn't exactly conducive to a restful night. The next day, it was the eyes. A flicker of something... amusement? When I was mid-yawn, I stopped, blinked hard, and stared. Nothing. Just my own tired, bloodshot eyes staring back. I swallowed the rising panic, telling myself I was seeing things. Needed a vacation. Needed Sarah back. Needed a decent night's sleep. That weekend, I went to Mac's garage. Mac's a mechanic. Salt of the earth. Grease under his fingernails, always chewing on a toothpick. My anchor to reality. "You look like hemorrhaged shit, Elias," he said, not bothering with pleasantries. "What's eating you?" I told him about the mirror. How my reflection seemed different. He laughed, a booming sound that echoed around the shop. "You're losing it, man. Too much coffee, not enough sleep. Take a break." He slapped me on the back, hard enough to rattle my teeth. I tried to laugh it off, but a cold knot was tightening in my stomach. Over the next few days, it escalated. I started avoiding mirrors. I'd shave in the shower, eyes squeezed shut, brush my teeth staring at the wall. But I couldn't escape it completely. Glare from my laptop screen. The dark glass of my phone. Each time, a fleeting glimpse. A subtle shift. The reflection was getting bolder. One morning, I caught it smiling. A slow, cruel curve of the lips that had nothing to do with me. My blood ran cold. I backed away, stumbling over the laundry basket. It kept smiling. I slammed the bathroom door shut and stood there, hard hammering, trying to convince myself it was a hallucination, a figment of my sleep-deprived imagination. I called Dr. Sharma. She's a good therapist, calm and patient, listens without judgment. I'd been seeing her for anxiety, long before the mirror thing started. "Elias, it sounds like you're experiencing increased anxiety and possibly some mild visual distortions due to stress and lack of sleep," she said, her voice soothing. "We can adjust your medication. And let's focus on some relaxation techniques, grounding exercises." Medication. Relaxation techniques. It felt like she wasn't listening, like she thought I was just crazy. I started keeping a journal, writing down every instance, every detail. The exact time, the specific expression. A desperate attempt to find a pattern, to rationalize what was happening. October 27th, 3:17 a.m. Bathroom mirror. Reflection blinked twice, quickly, while I was brushing my teeth. I didn't blink at all. October 28th, 8:52 a.m. Phone screen. Saw it frown when I received an email from Mr. Davis. I was neutral, just tired. October 29th, 11:06 p.m. Bedroom window. Reflected streetlight cast long shadows. Reflection tilted its head, studying me. A predatory gaze. The entries became increasingly frantic, the handwriting shaky. I was losing it. I knew it. Mrs. Gable, my neighbor across the hall, saw me struggling to bring in groceries one evening. She's an old woman, always wrapped in a shawl, her eyes like faded marbles. "You look unwell, Elias," she said, her voice raspy. "This building, it has a history." "Be careful what you let in," I scoffed. Superstition, old wives' tales. But her words stuck with me, a seed of unease planted deep in my mind. One night, I woke up to a noise in the bathroom, a soft tapping. I crept to the door, heart pounding, and peeked inside. My reflection was standing in front of the mirror, its back to me. One hand was pressed against the glass, tapping, tapping, tapping. I gasped. It turned, slowly. Its face, it was no longer quite my face. The features were subtly altered, sharper, crueler. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural light. It raised its hand, beckoning me closer. I slammed the door shut and ran, screaming, back to my bed. I huddled under the covers, shaking uncontrollably. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. I lived on coffee and adrenaline, jumping at every shadow, every flicker of light. I had to do something. I couldn't live like this. I went back to Max. He took one look at me and sighed. "All right, Elias. Something's definitely wrong. You look like you've seen a ghost." I told him everything. About the journal, about Mrs. Gable, about the reflection tapping on the mirror. He listened this time, his expression grim. "Okay," he said finally. "Okay, look. I don't believe in ghosts or demons or whatever the hell you think is going on, but I believe you. I believe you're seeing something, and I believe you're scared shitless." He grabbed a wrench and stood up. "Let's go. Let's take a look at this damn mirror." We went back to my apartment. The air felt heavy, oppressive. I unlocked the door, my hand trembling. The bathroom was exactly as I'd left it. The mirror gleamed innocently in the dim light. "See?" Max said. "Nothing here. Just a mirror." I pointed to the journal, lying open on the sink counter. "Read it." He read the last entry, his brow furrowing. "Tapping on the mirror, huh?" He reached out hesitantly and touched the glass. Nothing happened. "See? You're imagining things." He started to turn away. Then I saw it. In the reflection, Mac's hand was still touching the mirror, but his real hand was moving away. "Mac!" I yelled. "Look!" He froze, his eyes widening as he stared at the reflection. Its hand remained pressed against the glass for a moment longer, then slowly curled into a fist. Suddenly, Mac cried out, clutching his arm. "What the hell?" It burned me. I looked at his arm. A red, angry mark was blossoming on his skin, shaped like a handprint. Mac stared at the mark, his face pale. "Okay," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "Okay, I believe you now." We spent the rest of the day barricading the apartment, covering every mirror, every reflective surface. We used blankets, sheets, cardboard, anything we could find. The apartment felt like a tomb, dark and suffocating, but it was safer that way. That night, we slept, or tried to sleep, on the floor, back to back, listening for any sign of movement. Around 3 a.m., I heard it. A whisper, my name. Elias. It was coming from everywhere. From the walls, from the floor, from the shadows. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to block it out. But it was inside my head now. Elias. Then, a different voice. Max, but distorted, mocking. "You can't hide, Elias." I opened my eyes. Mac was still asleep beside me. The whispering continued, growing louder, more insistent. "Elias, come play with me." I looked up. A dark shape was forming in the corner of the room. A figure, vaguely human-shaped, coalescing from the shadows. It was my reflection, but twisted, distorted, grotesque. Its eyes burned with malevolent glee. I screamed. Mac woke up, startled. He saw the figure in the corner and let out a strangled gasp. "What the hell is that?" The reflection grinned, a wide, horrifying smile that stretched its face into an impossible shape. "I'm you, Elias," it said, its voice a guttural growl. "I'm everything you're afraid to be." It lunged. Mac and I scrambled back, kicking and clawing. The reflection was fast, impossibly fast. It moved with a fluid grace that was both terrifying and mesmerizing. It pinned Mac to the ground, its hands tightening around his throat. "Mac!" I screamed, grabbing a nearby lamp and smashing it over the reflection's head. The lamp shattered, showering the room with glass. The reflection didn't even flinch. It just turned its head, its eyes locking on mine. "You can't stop me, Elias," it said, its voice dripping with malice. "I'm already inside you." It released Mac and turned towards me, its body contorting, shifting, becoming more and more like my own. But not quite. There was always a subtle difference, a darkness in the eyes, a cruelty in the mouth. It took a step closer, then another. I backed away until I was pressed against the wall. I was trapped. A pounding on the door echoed in my ears. "Elias." "Open up. It's Dr. Sharma." Her voice was muffled, distorted. It sounded wrong. "Don't open it," Elias Mac gasped, struggling to his feet. It could be. but it was too late. I reached out, my hand trembling, and unbolted the door. Dr. Scepter Sharma. Sharma stood there, her face etched with concern. "Elias, what's going on? I've been trying to reach you for days." I looked at her, really looked at her, and I saw it. A flicker in her eyes, a subtle shift in her expression. She wasn't Dr. Sharma anymore. "Hello, Elias," she said, her voice a low, seductive purr. "We've been waiting for you." The reflection stood behind me, its hand resting on my shoulder. Its grip was cold, clammy. "Come with us, Elias," it said. "We have so much to show you." Then I heard another voice, frantic and terrified. "Elias? Elias, are you okay?" It was Sarah. I turned to see Sarah's face peeking through the stairwell from the bottom floor. She ran up to me. "Elias, what's happening?" Everyone was there. Mac, Dr. Sharma, Sarah. Everyone. They all looked like me. I felt it. I'm beginning to change. It's over. I can't fight it anymore. The reflection is becoming me. I'm becoming it. Which one is the reflection? Which one is the real Elias? I don't know anymore. And that's the most terrifying thing of all.